Working out this morning in the Hawk House.
Yep.
And I see Rex Ryan says Bill should hire Bill Belichick. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, could you imagine?
They should.
Could you,
great.
I mean, we love McDermott over here, and obviously the hit piece that outlined some things that potentially that did take place within the Bills organization with him at the helm, not great. But McDermott, I feel like, has been a steady voice up there for a long time. They've had a lot of faith in him. Brandon Beane, after that hit piece comes out and said he's our coach pretty much. A lot of support from that. But as we get into this fantasy land of Bill Belichick calling the shots in places, it's like defense has a veteran-led defense.
For sure.
That's very good. Offensively, you got a quarterback that can do whatever.
A receiver.
You got a stud tight end all of a sudden.
Running back.
You got an offensive line that's been, it's like
gritty.
Bill Belichick comes in there and starts doing his thing. That would be bananas. Patriots fans would be furious.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about this. Like, if Bill were to go to Buffalo, I think Tom Brady benefits the most because everyone would forgive Brady in an instant and turn that.
At least he didn't go to the...
Exactly. At least he didn't go to the Jets or the Bills. You know, that would be...
He did try to get to Miami, allegedly.
Bingo. That would be madness if that were to happen.
Ty has a question for you, Shefty. Go ahead.
You could do the Bill exercise, here, there, anywhere with every team. We've been doing it, and we seem more enthused than the teams have so far because the only team that he's spoken to so far, to my knowledge, is the Falcons. And so, we wondered about Dallas. We wondered about Philly. We wondered about Buffalo. You wondered about Buffalo. Like, you could do that exercise for a lot of teams because he is the greatest coach of all time. He belongs somewhere. So it's a little strange. Like, when Tom Brady was a free agent quarterback, there might have been more, but I believe there were only 2 teams, 2 of 32.
Chargers,
that
Tampa?
were interested in the Chargers and Tampa. That was it. Like, why would more teams not have been interested? And I think to me, it's almost repeating itself with Bill as a head coach here. Why would there not be more teams that are interested in Bill Belichick? Like, here's this guy on the sideline.
What is
it's just odd to me. It was odd with Brady.
Yes.
It's odd with Belichick.
Shefty, very odd with Brady because we had the show, obviously, it was only on the internet then, a little small, tiny little program, regional operation at the time. But as soon as we heard Tom Brady was a free agent, said, everybody wants Tom in the building because it's not just the football team that gets better. The equipment managers get better. The athletic trainers get better. The video crew gets better. The salespeople get better. Everybody gets better because they know if we don't win, it's probably my fault as opposed to Tom Brady's fault. He elevates the coaches, everybody.
Look what he did in Tampa when he got there.
Well, bingo.
Right?
So you would think that with Bill Belichick, too. Like, hey, as soon as he gets in the building, everybody's going to get better. Everybody is going to elevate their game because hey, this guy should win it. We can win it. It's on me if we don't. It doesn't make any sense. Didn't make sense whenever they said nobody's interested in Tom Brady. Everybody's calling me just Mark. You Mark. You have no idea what you're talking about. Nobody's interested. And then for the Bill Belichick thing, if no teams are interested in Bill Belichick after everything we've done on this show, we're going to look like doofuses, Shefty. Absolute doofus.
No, the Falcons are interested, but the Falcons have this open search. Like, there's a lot of people, and maybe in the end it comes up on Bill, but maybe it doesn't. We don't know how it's going to work out. But so far, like, that's the only team that I can tell that has engaged in heavy conversation. They've met with him twice. We know that, right? There might be more talking to him, but we don't know of anybody just yet.
Is it his age? Is that it?
Ageism.
Again, I guess I would go back to the Brady argument. I didn't understand it then, and I don't understand it now.
Okay.
I didn't.
Same.
I felt like there were more teams that should have been interested in Brady, and there should be more teams that are interested in Bill. And right now, there aren't, just like there weren't with Tom. It's like, that's crazy to me, but that's the reality.
To be clear, Tom Brady won a Super Bowl.
Yes, he did.
And sold the stadium out.
In the first year.
And changed the whole business of the entire city, pretty much. In about 3 months.
Added sections to the actual city
because Tom Brady came to town.
But a lot of people thought he was done and washed in New England, and they may think the same thing with Bill. They may think, maybe his time has passed. Maybe he can't come to a new organization with, how different things are and build that culture again. Like, he's not going to be there 10 years. 5 years is not a long plan. It's kind of like a 2-3 year thing, I would think, at this point, being 72. So
you watch
it's not shocking.
Needs 15 more wins.
Why wouldn't you at least talk to him?
Yeah, this is like the Lamar Jackson thing when everybody was like, we're not interested. We're not interested.
Yeah, It reminds me of that. That's exactly right. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
All these now with Lamar, he had 2 seasons in a row where he didn't finish the season due to injury, and there were people that were worried about his health, his eating, whatever it is. Okay, but the fact of the matter is, nobody out there made a compelling offer sheet. Like, nobody tried to make life uncomfortable. I had John Harbaugh on my podcast last week. I asked him about. He was like laughing. He's like, well, we're very grateful that nobody else went after him because we always saw him here. And everybody says, well, the Ravens would have matched. Well, yeah, they plan to, but how about somebody who comes up with an offer sheet that makes it really hard for them to match? How about somebody that basically partners up to Lamar and says, Lamar, we want you, and we're going to pay you so much money that we're going to make it really hard for Baltimore to match, and we want you here, and you don't want to be there. And Lamar was the one that did request a trade from there, so there was some bad feelings at one point in time where he might have been willing to force the issue at one point in time. That window closed when they got together a month or so later to do a deal. So, yes, limited interest in Tom Brady, next to no interest in Lamar Jackson, limited interest in Bill Belichick. Like, sometimes teams don't always make the right calls.
Yeah,
that happens.
I'd say. Yeah, and then Harbaugh, by the way, publicly put leverage into Lamar Jackson's camp. So I think Harbaugh always on the Lamar Jackson side, which is why I think that locker room was able to remain so tight through the business stuff that was potentially happening, because anytime Harbaugh could get on a microphone, he's like, Lamar Jackson's my quarterback. Lamar Jackson's our quarterback. There's nobody like Lamar Jackson. What was happening business-wise behind the scenes, though, felt like it was not kind of radiating the same point. Is that true, or is that revisionist history that I'm having here?
Well, I think back to the whole situation, and I find it to be fascinating and maddening all at once, because, again, right when Lamar was franchise tagged, like, there were all these reports from across the country about team not interested. And so we could just go back and look at all the teams that were in. And all the teams that weren't interested, that passed on the chance to get Lamar. Basically, Washington, they fired their coach. Atlanta, they fired their coach. We go to Carolina, they fired their coach. Las Vegas, they fired their coach.
Damn.
Like, all these teams, they wound up firing their coach. So if one of these coaches would have made a play and made life difficult for Baltimore. See, I just come back to that. Everybody says Baltimore would have matched. And I say I've seen enough situations over time where a team made life uncomfortable for another team. But the problem was
$230 million guaranteed is what Haslam just did to Atlanta and New Orleans.
Exactly.
For Deshaun Watson.
Okay, they guaranteed $230 for Deshaun. Okay. Well, he wanted out of Houston anyway. Cleveland got it done. If you wanted it bad enough, you went to Lamar and you would say, Lamar, we're going to guarantee all $250. Yeah. All $250.
And you got 5 years. I mean, no problem at all. And you would have Lamar Jackson.
By the way, somebody just texted me. Look, one of my favorite parts of doing the show is how many people are watching and how many cool people text thoughts.
Nobody watches
across the league. So one person just texted me. I'm just going to read the exact text. More interest in Deshaun Watson than Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and Lamar Jackson. That's insane.
Yeah, I'd say.
Absurd.
Yeah, it certainly is. Hey, Mulligetta. He is a dog, dude. Yeah, Mike Vrabel, too. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation.